Welcome to the Mad Ron podcast. Where did it all go wrong? With me, Mad Ron. I'm currently locked up and I only get one phone call a week, and I've decided to use it to recruit. Why? Well, I need people working for me on the outside while I'm banged up. Obviously, such a blatant approach would be frowned upon by the authorities, so I've disguised all this up as a podcast. One of the many advantages of being inside is there's time to think about things, and I've been asking myself a few questions. Questions like, is Bear Grylls or Mary Berry the most devious celebrity? Bear Grylls stands on the television saying rainwater's good for you, rainwater's safe to drink, then spends the next 3 days drinking piss out of a snake. But Mary Berry spent 8 years around cakes and still hasn't put any weight on. But for me, the big question is, where am I going to get my next recruit from? We need to turn to the comedy community. Comedians are used to working alone at night and quite often enter a room through a curtain. So I've got a few candidates lined up. Let's see if they've got any potential. And who knows, if it goes well, they could be sharing a cell with me. Today's guest is Birmingham-based comedian Lovdev Barpaga, who also operates under the alias of Dave Barbados. Lovdev, welcome. Is it true you have plans to fight a swan?
Yes, mate. Absolutely. I hate them.
Why?
They're annoying. Because they just take up all the lake space. They're always in your face. They want bread. They want seeds. They won't leave you alone. And when they got their chicks around them, you know, they get a bit arsey.
Get a bit feisty, don't they? They need putting in their place as far as I'm concerned.
That's what I was going to say. I've got to put them in their place. And those geese they have as backup, they don't help either.
Backup
those
geese.
Canadian geese that think they can come here and take over as well. Nah, mate.
So have you been doing any preparation for this? Have you been doing any training? You got the gym, do you, and like work out in preparation for fighting a swan?
To fight a swan, yeah, you know, I'll go to the gym 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 times a week in the 7 days that we've got.
Yeah.
I make sure I train my biceps, you know. Got to make sure you do legs, though.
Yeah.
They're very important, because if you can't kill a swan, you've had it. Especially if you can't run.
You've got to run away. So legs is important. And you can always give a bit of a deft
and face as well. You have to train your face when you're in the gym. You have to stare in the mirror and pull the angriest face you can do, because everyone forgets about these muscles here.
Well, let's see that angriest face that you've ever done then. So let's see what... Jeez, that's enough to certainly...
That's the face to confuse a swan.
That's going to frighten a cygnet at least, but maybe not quite a fully fledged swan, but well done. Let's just talk about you for a minute. Your current show that you're working on is called Half Soaked. Where did the title come from, and who are you taking the piss out of?
So the title Half Soaked literally came from me trying to fight these swans, you know, in their home. I was trying to get in the nest. Fortunately, I fell in, but only half of me got soaked. And I had all the people looking at me, laughing at me, thinking, look at him, look at this idiot. What's he doing? He must be half soaked. So I thought, yeah, I think I am half soaked.
Well, funnily enough, it's, you find that a swan is half soaked because it's only the lower half that is soaked. The upper half is quite dry, isn't it, until they put the necks in. So, you know, there is a theme here, and your hatred of swans goes deeper than we ever probably predicted, to be honest. And you're from Birmingham, wherever that is. So
yeah.
What's the best thing about Birmingham? And go on. What's the best thing
about Birmingham? Well, we ain't got many swans left. So
right.
That's probably one of the best things. We've got a bull now. Well, we've got several bulls. We've got a proper bull now. He's mechanical. You've probably seen him. He was down in the scrapyard, and the locals were like, no, we want to keep him. Because he was like the mascot for the Commonwealth Games here in Brum. and he's now in New Street Station. And I'll be honest, he doesn't do a lot. He just stands
Yeah.
and looks very
It's
mean.
all mouth. It's all bull, is it?
It's all absolutely. It's all bull. Yeah, and it's at New Street Station, which is
And
another
if I
bull.
decided to visit Birmingham, is there anything on public display worth nicking apart from the bull?
Oh yeah, we've got the Birmingham Art Gallery.
Right.
Lots of nice art in there, old antiques, from all over the world.
Right.
We've got what else can you rob?
So it's like the Elgin marbles. You've nicked stuff as well, like the British Museum has nicked stuff. You've done the same. Birmingham
We've
is
done the same in Birmingham. We've
perfect.
robbed a couple of stuff off the Peaky Blinders. Some of their
But
hats allegedly.
that place has gone up in my estimation already. So I've got a few questions. Let's see if you're suitable for a candidate for the criminal lifestyle. Might be recruiting. We never know. So let's see.
I've got the badge.
You what?
I've got a security badge. Will that do?
Might come in handy, yeah. So you're invited on to pro celebrity robbery as the pro criminal. Who would be your ideal celebrity accomplice?
Brian Cox.
Brian Cox.
He doesn't mess
Right.
about. He knows it. He knows so much in there. He's got so much in there. He can't get it all out. But he's a mastermind.
Would you not think, though, that because he goes on about the universe being infinitely big and all this sort of stuff,
Exactly.
that he would not sort of concentrate on the matter at hand, which is maybe the Apple iPad that's in front of him. He's thinking about what bigger things he could nick and not concentrating on the crime.
Well, there you go, you see, Mad Ron. You're not thinking this straight. Brian Cox knows which planets are out there that contain diamond and girls. He doesn't need to go for these little boys here. If he thinks about it, if he makes a proper plan and says, Lovdev Barpaga, hope I said that right. If you get yourself a rocket, right, 4 of us, we get in there. It only take us 3 months to get there, near this planet. Full of gold, full of diamonds. Bish, bash, bosh. No one's going to know we've been there.
Well,
just like the Americans when they said they landed on the moon, but they probably didn't.
The problem with
they
that,
did. They took all the resources.
All right, next question. So there's lots of celebrities out there. So which celebrity would you most like to burgle and why? And what would you take?
I've had a good thought about this one now. So it would probably have to be Tom Hanks.
Right.
Because growing up as a kid, no pun intended, like the movie Big.
It's generally people do grow up as kids, yeah.
Yep. So I've always been a massive fan of Tom Hanks. And right. I reckon he's loaded. Loaded. He's got all them Grammys. He's got the Oscars. Is that real gold, Mad Ron? The statue, is it real gold? Is it gold? I don't even know what it's made out of.
What, the Oscars?
Yeah, the trophy.
I don't know. We could do a bit of research and find out, couldn't we? If it's gold or gold, but it's still worth a bit anyway, wouldn't it?
He must be rich.
His name on it. Well, mind you, the market wouldn't be that great, would it? Because you'd have to find somebody that was interested in acting and was called Tom Hanks, so that you could give him that, that Oscar. Or you could find somebody called Oscar and then give them that and present them with a Tom Hanks, couldn't you? I don't know. So if you could create any new law, what that you could break but nobody else could, what would it be?
This one might be a bit petty, but it helps with the criminal mind. Jumping red lights.
Right.
You know, some states in the US, you can actually jump the red light if it's clear at the crossing. Why don't we have that? Sometimes you get to traffic lights, there's no one around. You look left, you look right, you look ahead, you look behind you, no coppers. Let's go. Why should you have to wait at least 3 to 4 minutes before your lights change?
Right, well, fair
dues. I think they should just give me I don't know, some kind of personalised plate that I've already got. Jump lights or something. Jump red lights. Or allowed to. Do not stop.
Right.
Or
So-
police, do not follow this car. As in police, not please.
So wouldn't that mean that anyone that's sitting at a green light would have to stop and wait for you coming along just to make sure that was...
No, but
was
I'll
clear?
make sure first. I've got to make sure it's clear.
Right.
So if they're on green, I'm on red, and I can see them. And I don't even know if it's their turn.
When you were at school...
Oh, God. When I was in school, you mean?
Yeah, I hope your memory's good enough. What detentions? What did you get away with? What did you do? That you got away with?
So I went to a Catholic school.
Right.
And I'm left-handed.
Right.
Although that looks like my right hand on the camera.
No,
so
you've
they
shown
gave
me
me
that you have a hand.
they gave me detention for using my left hand.
Really?
Yeah, they said you're the devil's child. You need to stay over.
So, right, okay. And what did they make you do in the detention then?
They basically put me in a brace. They got it off from the nurse's office. You know when a kid has a brace? Right, like that. So they basically put it on my left arm and told me to learn to use your right hand.
And so which hand do you write with now?
This one.
Your right hand?
It worked.
It worked. Well, there you go, you see.
Yeah.
Anything else you did? You get into trouble at all?
That was at primary school. And then when I joined secondary, wagged school a couple of times, you know.
You went to school.
There's an interesting story. This might get me in your books. So a friend of mine who used to, we used to wag school together, right? His auntie owned a shop, and he used to say, "Let's go down and see my auntie. Let's go down." So we used to go down to his auntie's.
Did he do that with his head as well?
Are you listening? Hey?
Yeah. Did he do that with his head?
Yeah.
To indicate where he's going. Probably because he had both arms in a sling for doing something else, did he?
Yeah, he did actually. He couldn't move his arms, so he had to move his head like that. So anyway, he said, "Let's go down and to my auntie's shop." So we used, because he was in both slings, like you said. I don't know how you know all this. He had both his arms in a sling, and he used to make me nick the cigarettes. So we used to nick the cigarettes, right? Benson and edges. When you could see the Benson and edges. Not this, this warning, all this trying to scare people stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you go down the newsagents now, it's like, I'll have 2 packets of yellow lung and one kind of...
one poor sick child.
Sick child, yeah.
Not a dad in the hospital bed. I'll have that one.
And 20 bloke in a hospital bed for Angela.
That's it. So we used to knit the Bensons, and then we used to sell them in the school. Although we were wagging, we used to go back to school. I don't know why. Wait at the top of the gates. Wait for the second years, third years to come. And then we used to sell a cigarette. 50p cigarette them days.
Was it?
50.
What
that's
year
what
was that then?
We used to sell it 50p. Yeah, you want a Benson? 50p. Cheers. We did that for a good 7-8 months, and then we got caught. Because his auntie knew that we were coming in and nicking the fags. So when I used to wag school, right, this is what I got away with. Well, I didn't really get away with it. I used to make my own sick note. And my tutor, his name was Mr. Briggs. And he was one of my idols, actually, growing up at school. And he had a proper go at me. He went, "Lovdev, come here." I said, "Oh, what have I done?" He said, "Who's this? Who's this?" And he was pointing at the signature. And I looked at it and I said, "Oh, that's me mother, Lovdev Barpaga." And he went, "No, it ain't. I've spoke to your mum. And your mum never signs her full name. It's always S. Barpaga." You've put down Serinda Barpaga. Where you be? I've seen you at the top of the gate selling cigarettes with a swan in your hand. So, yeah, I never actually got away with anything.
Swan Vestus. Yeah.
Swan Vestus.
Do you have a devil child that writes with his left hand? We can cure him and get him writing illegibly right-handed with Dave Barbados' arm braces. Billy from Cambridge says, only 2 years ago I had no hope of getting employment because I wrote with my left hand. I had no idea there was another way, but now, thanks to Dave Barbados' arm braces, I have a job writing prescriptions. What would you leave at the scene of a crime as your calling card?
Samosas. Simple
Samosas.
answer. Yeah.
Right. And why?
You think about it, right? It's a triangle. Instantly, people are going to think Illuminati straight away. They'll also eat the evidence.
Or they're going to think it's somebody from an Indian restaurant.
Maybe. But you can get samosas in Sainsbury's, Argos, Asda, you know, big supermarkets. Even Aldi's have little tiny samosas now. But you've got to make sure it's not one of their cheap brands. You've got to make sure it's a proper one from a restaurant. And inside, it's a bit like a cookie, you know, like a Chinese cookie.
Yeah.
Is it a
fortune
Chinese
cookie?
That's it, fortune cookie. So you know when you snap it and a bit of paper comes out? With the samosa, if you snap it, every scene will have a different filling in it. They won't know what it means. So I could
if you're
say,
if you're doing a jeweller's, what filling would you have inside then?
carrots.
Carrots.
Think
like
about
24 carat samosas.
You've got it, mate.
If you were going to frame someone else for one of your crimes, who would it be and what crime would it be?
I'll tell you who it'll be. Any football manager.
Any football manager.
Actually, anyone to do with football. You can be a football player, you can be the referee, you can be the goalie, you know what I mean? You can own the stadium. You could be, what's his name from Emirates? I don't know his name.
So
anyone
you've got
to
a
do with football.
hate of football.
I
Where
hate
does this
football.
come from?
I just don't like. I can't. I've never been a football person.
But
I'll tell you what winds me up is when my mates, all they talk about is football on the WhatsApp group. That's all they talk about. There's no other interest, and it bores me to death.
On the Birmingham City WhatsApp group, is that?
Birmingham? No, they're from Birmingham. They all support Liverpool.
Right.
Liverpool, Manchester. I think one supports Newcastle. And one's an Arsenal fan. And all they talk they're all from Birmingham, and none of them support a Birmingham team. There's not one Villa fan in there. There's not West Brom or even Wolverhampton or Coventry, if you want to include them lot.
So do you think that is a crime in itself? And I'm edging towards the fact that your WhatsApp group probably needs framing. They need to go inside for some corrective measures. So what I'd suggest is maybe frame them for crimes against Birmingham and stick them inside.
For not supporting your local club.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Would it make a difference to you if they were talking about Birmingham or Aston Villa or West Brom?
You're probably right. No, it wouldn't, to be honest.
No. Right.
Might bring a little bit of a joy in me.
So what's the most creative excuse you've ever come up with for being in the wrong place at the wrong time?
Well, this one is to do with criminals. Do you want to know the most creative?
Go on then.
It's a bit of a dilemma, though. It was a bit of both, but we got away. So many years ago, while I was out in India scouting samosas makers,
Mm-hmm. From recipes.
recipes, you got it. Different recipes, different, parts of India. They all have different styles of savoury snacks. So while I was out there on a road trip, I got pulled over by these men with guns. I said to them, Dad, is that the police? And he went, I don't think so. Because they didn't ask for any money at the time. So I thought, right, it's not the police. That's not a good sign. Who is it then? He said, I think they're a militia group. So this is the excuse I said to him. I put the window down and I said, can I help you, mate? And he said, we're actually looking for Hindus. And I went, we're off to a stag party. And they let me go.
They let you go. Good work. Good work. So you blag your way out of a situation as well. Perfect, really.
Lagged it out. Good excuse. I mean, it's not creative, but it's a good enough excuse.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, so I often used to blag my way into nightclubs by going up to the front of the queue and just saying, we're with the band, or we should be on the guest list, or Terry said it would be okay, and just go straight into clubs like that, just skip all the queue. Done that a few times. So have you ever pretended?
Oh, that type of thing. Yeah, I have done that type of thing. I pretended to be deaf.
Did you?
Yeah.
Because I believe your brother's deaf, isn't he?
My brother's deaf, and my brother told me, he said, do you want me to do his accent? My brother said, bro, I can watch any movie for free. And I was in shock, just like you. And I said, you can watch any movie for free because you're deaf. And he went, yeah. So I thought, I'm going to blag it. I'm going to go down to the cinema. I'm going to pretend I'm deaf. She's not going to, I can hear her. She doesn't know that I can hear her. So I had to pretend. I had to do charades because I don't know sign language. That's unfortunately.
So I think that's a crime in itself, having a brother that's deaf and not having learnt sign language.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
But
I've got to talk to him one day.
Yeah, I suppose so. But can you communicate with him now? Does he understand
with the eyes.
With eyes?
Just with the eyes and the head.
So this is like deep rooted from the school where he had his hands tied together and they go like that. No point in doing the sign language because my hands are tied up like this. I better just do it with the eyes and a bit of sign language.
Don't forget my left arm doesn't work anymore now. So that's pointless. And he doesn't know American Sign Language. They use one hand in America. Did you know that?
No.
Because the other hand they're eating. Americans.
And so you say you pretended to be deaf. So go on. What happened?
I said to the lady, she was in the booth, and I said, hello. And she went, hello. And I said, I would like to watch a movie, please. And she went, oh, what movie? And I said, Papa. I had to do that. Charades.
Do you know, I think you've got a lot of potential here. You're prepared to fight a swan. You obviously look after yourself, keep in shape. You go to the gym. We've also got the fact that you will you managed to do a bit of nick a few fags and sell them on the black market. That's top work. Not so sure about samosas. It's a bit too niche, I think, but you know,
Do you
we'll let that
reckon?
one. The Brian Cox thing concerns me. I'm not sure he's the right man to be pro celebrity, your celebrity partner for a crime, but yeah, we can understand your reasons for that. And yeah, creative excuse. Wow, blag your way out of a tricky situation. Top marks, mate. So yeah, I think, to be honest, it's a big tick from me. You'll be hearing from me later on with some details. Now, look, while you're in here, this is my one phone call for the week, right? So, is there any chance that you could give me a quick summary of what's going on outside in the big world? Because I've no access to any news or whatever.
You might like this one. A man accused of murdering his friend who he thought summoned Bigfoot. Guess
Right.
what country that is? I'll give you.
America.
Yeah. I was going to give
So,
you three chances, but you got it straight away. I mean,
what does Trump?
where else does Bigfoot live?
Well, yeah, okay. He lives in the woods, and
Yeah, no,
like,
I
why?
mean, yeah, in America. There's no. It's the only place I've heard of him. He's there.
It has this. I have to say, this has confused me a little bit because why is it called Bigfoot? I mean, surely it should be big feet, not big foot, because surely both feet are the same size. Why are they concentrating on one foot and not on the fact that he's got 2 foot and both of them are big?
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. You know, big feet
Yeah,
instead of big foot because he's got. Yeah,
but
it makes
that's
sense.
for me.
Unless it's a one-legged bipedal monster.
Bi means two,
And
doesn't it?
that's why he has such a big gap. Like, so he jumps from here and then he jumps there and then he jumps like that. So apparently, he has a 6 foot gap between each step. I think I think you've nailed it.
I think that's
So he
exactly
actually
why.
hops like that.
No, that's exactly why it's a myth. It's a myth because if it was a proper animal or creature, it would be grammatically correct. It would be big feet and not big foot. So that was Lovdev Barpaga. I think, quite honestly, say quite a dodgy character. Really, he's done quite a lot of stuff in the past. Seems quite suitable for the gang. Um, write in and let us know what you think. Tweet or tell us whether you think Lovdev is suitable for a criminal life of crime. Thanks very much, Lovdev Barpaga, or Dave Barbados.
Thank you.
Science bloke Professor Brian Cox is leading a gold and diamond mining expedition to a nearby planet. He's looking for investors. Ever wanted to go into space? Got £1 million kicking around? Want to be able to boast about how much money you've got to waste? Why not invest in rockets for Cox?